Hello, sports nerds. Welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am 1/5 of your host, Andrew Faubert, and joining me tonight is none of the other hosts. They're all dead. No, I'm kidding. Some are injured, some are sick, some have very important things that they need to do tonight. So your Friday nights are just hanging out with me, baby. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Andrew Faubert, North Sports Dynasty Friday night extravaganza. Which in the middle of the season, like there's really nothing kind of to talk about. But there's things that you can do first before we can talk about some things that there's not there to talk about. You can like, you can share, you can follow North Sports Dynasty live on all NSD platforms. We're also live, just to let you know, from my basement. Always. And if it's not live from my basement, I don't know. We've made it at that point. I would be pretty sure. But we are also, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored. Let me get it up here by ZAGNIF Apparel. Use the code words FOOPS15 and get 15% off select items. And go to boom, that link right there. The apparel is apparently like here. There's no package on my door. So I gotta find it now before we can actually get Chris to, show it off and stuff like that. Because that would be nice, right? It'd be nice to see some of the apparel being shown off on some NSD people. Speaking of NSD and apparel, that's right. We got some coming. Woo! That's right. We got some t-shirts coming in. They don't look like this. They don't look like my palm. Don't worry. The screen was just getting blurry. There we go. We got t-shirts coming in. Yes, you would be able to buy t-shirts from either myself, Mr. Chris, Mr. Alex, Mr. Kyle, Mr. Sid, if that's what they go as. Pretty sure it's 2023. They're all pretty sure. And I'm going to check for you. Y'all can go do that for me. But you can buy the shirts for them if you are the pretty lady or the significant other of one of the hosts. I'm pretty sure your shirt has already been bought for you. That also being said, you can, reach out. I think they're $25 each. I think you can swindle a couple of bucks off of one of the other guys if you really absolutely needed to. A couple of winners of shirts go to Sean Spencer and Nicole, who won it during the giveaways that happened a couple weeks ago. And also a couple weeks ago, we gave away the Gabe Neighbors jersey. We gave away the Mike Allsted mini helmet, which are all being packed away today, being shipped tomorrow. That's right. All the winnings are finally being shipped. Even though it happened, actually, it was last week. Man, my memory sucks. Anywho, all right, let's get into it. Since we got all the winners taken care of, looks like we've kind of hit everything for, all the housekeeping. We do have, or we're supposed to have, a couple of guests on tonight. They are not going to be on tonight. They couldn't make it. They had other arrangements, and we said that is totally fine. So we will get them on another show. Especially with all, what is going on this weekend? What is happening on a Friday? I mean, I guess there's probably a lot of other things that is probably going on a Friday. But honestly, where the heck is all the hosts at? Well, let's see. Chris is hurt. Kyle is sick. Alex has got no internet at his new place, so I don't think he can necessarily do shows. And Sid is doing some breaks right now. Sid actually might be coming in a little bit here. Actually, I had to do my homework, and that's make sure that everybody has the link if they are going to randomly pop in. There they go. That's for you guys. See, I got them taken care of. Now it's time to get y'all taken care of. Why are you here tonight? Well, we're going to be talking about a couple of things at least. Waiting patiently for football. That's obviously the main thing in here. But we got new age superstars coming in pretty damn soon. In 3 different drafts. In 3 different major sports. With 3 major different types of fan bases. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the NHL free agents and look at the top UFAs this year. Off-season talk needs for the NSD team host, which is, I guess, just the Bucks tonight. And big board session if we get one of the guys in at the end of the night. So let's talk about this here for a second. I'm going to bring this up because I think this needs to be said. We are about to have one of the most craziest drafts ever. And I'm not just talking NFL here. No, honestly, I know this is NSD, but NSD stands for the all sports platforms. And if you look at basketball, you look at hockey as well in this conversation. There are a few gentlemen coming out of those drafts who may actually turn out to be legitimate superstars and game-changing talent. You look at the NFL, you can throw CJ Stroud, Bryce Young in the conversation, Will Levis, sure. All those gentlemen right there hold traits to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league going forward, like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Josh Allen, like a Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, T-Law. Those are the quarterbacks we look at. They're all on teams, and they're all doing respectively good in their own situations, and also not doing that good in their own situations. You look back a couple years at a couple of these drafts where Joe Burrow went and Tua went and Herbert went, and it could have been a toss-up in any which place of where these quarterbacks would have went. Now looking back, Joe Burrow is obviously the number one guy in there. Everybody wants his rookie cards. Myself, I find myself on the other side of it. That also being said, these guys are changing the game now. Because they were put into a position, they were put into a place, they were put into a team that finally allowed them to flourish. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, T-Law, respectively Justin Herbert. Now you got the same type of crop of guys coming into the NFL. Take out the whole defensive tackle, Jalen Carter or Will Anderson and all those edge rushers and all that's going to be happening. Think about the other side of it. Think about the massive amount of money, I guess you would say, that is going to go into these picks, that they're going to go into these franchises and they're going to change the game. One of these guys is going to hit. My vote is still on Will Levis, personally. I look at Anthony Richardson as more of a RG3. And as I said to Alex today at work, RG3 had a three-year great career. And then after that kind of went down, obviously, because of the injury. I think he needs 3 years to be what RG3 could have been at his great eliteness. When you look at Bryce Young, kind of reminds you of Kyler Murray. When you look at CJ Stroud, it's kind of got a little bit of a Cam Newton, but just with a little bit more accuracy. This is all my opinion. Will Levis is just a big, strong, like Josh Allen. Like, if he ends up being NFL talent. Go look at the NBA. And go look at the NHL. Who do they got coming out? Got Victor Wembanyama. I cannot remember exactly the team that he plays for. You have it right here. The Mets 92. There we go. In the Baltic Elite League. This guy is going number one overall. You could put all your money on it right now. Anything you want. Victor Wembanyama is more than likely going number one unless, of course, injury presides. The stats on this guy are insane. He is tall. He is 7'2", but in sneakers, in NBA official sneakers, he is 7'4", and some people have him at 7'5". The man is 4 inches taller than what Shaq was. Shaq was the most dominant center in the league. Don't at me, don't quote me, don't start bringing up other names. It was Shaq in the league that he played in. He was the beat-up guy. You had to go through Shaq in order to score points in that day and age. Yeah, it's a 3-point game now, and it's way more outside of the paint. But you cannot tell me that every single three-pointer goes in, that every single shot goes in. If you're the Golden State Warriors, it looks pretty damn good. But not every single one of those shots are going in. And this guy is going to clean up with rebounds. It's like I'm looking at his stats right now, and it's every single freaking game the guy has got double digits rebounds almost every second game. And 18 on Christmas or on Boxing Day. And for my American friends who apparently do not understand what Boxing Day is, which still baffles the shit out of me, Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. We here in Canada apparently have a big sale But man, so good God, Shaq Diesel was the truth, right? And now, obviously, that type of game does not exist in the NBA anymore. But when you have Victor Wembanyama coming in, being able to put up, 30, 32, 27, 24, 26, the last 3 games that this guy has played, 2 losses and a win. But in the loss, 31 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists. When he wins, his stats are lowered. Like he wins by a point and he's got 11.7 rebounds. It's almost as if that's it. 16, 9, and 1 on a win, blowout. Another close one, 15, 9, and 1. But when he loses and he is needed on the ball more, or these high scoring games where he wins, where is it here? Loses December 11th, 95 to 82, but he has a 27, 11, and 3 stat line. 84 to 81 loss, 26, 18, and 2. When they do go over 100 points, and I think they only went over 100 points the one time. Yeah, they went 16, 9, and 1. These close games, these hard, gritty games that he is being a part of, and he's putting in the minutes, 30 minutes, 36, 37, 36, 37, 40. 40 was on December 11th where he had that 27, 11, and 3. This kid is the truth. This kid is the truth coming in to this type of league. Let them all shoot the threes. Let them. Because whatever doesn't go in, this kid's going to clean up the rebounds. And there's nothing you can do about it. And the game is going to go from out here to back in here because of him. They're going to draft people to try and block him. And the second that they are uneducated in the way to play basketball in this day and age, and he is in the paint, he's going to sit there, get knocked around a little bit, but that's where he's going to get the points. That's where all of a sudden the ejections come in. Victor Wembanyama will be able to go to the free throw line and just dominate. His free throws are absolutely amazing too. I just saw that stat. Where is it? Hold on. Where's the free throw? I just had it too. But I mean, his field goal percentage is over 50%. The guy's got he's got a 3-point game. The assist that he's been putting on, the kid is French. The kid is tall. He is lengthy like Rudy Gobert. But he's a way better version, in my opinion. He's a more polished version already. And he is not drafted yet. So there's your next MJ. Completely different position, but MJ changed the game. And this is what this kid is going to do. LeBron's going to be out, and everyone's going to be looking for the next best thing. You're going to have Zion Williams, if he actually stays healthy, battling it out with Victor Wembanyama and some of these other guys like Chet Holmgren from the OKC Thunder. Those are going to be battles that you want to see later on because the NBA will start to allow it because the game will change back to the way that it was when your superstar plays that position. And speaking of superstar, the other one that I was bringing up, as you see in the edit, or as in the show title, Wayne Gretzky. Why would you even bring up a name? First of all, Wayne Gretzky didn't go first overall. I'm just saying. McDavid did. Crosby did. Guys like that. And if they had to do it all over again, Gretzky would have gone first overall in every single draft. There's another one coming out. There's another McDavid coming out. There's another Crosby coming out this year as well. And his name is Connor Bedard. And you've heard me say his name so many times on this show and on many other people's shows. And the reason is because he's going to be that good. He's going to be phenomenal. Does not matter where he gets drafted either. He gets drafted to a shitty team like the Ducks or Columbus or Chicago. He is going to utilize the talent that is already drafted and on that team because you don't just have a team with that much shit talent that doesn't exist. As much as people like to think it does. On paper it might, but like the Arizona Coyotes. He goes there. They will build an arena like that around him. He goes to Chicago. All of a sudden, they may build a new arena for him in a city like Chicago where stuff like that is very expensive. like extremely expensive. Put them in Anaheim. Now all of a sudden you're competing with the Staples Center on a completely different level. You're literally having hockey competitions in LA, in the state of California. Everybody will love to go see your LA Kings. The jerseys on the LA Kings are still phenomenal. They inflict fear when they are doing good. I still remember when they won their first cup. But if Bedard goes to the Ducks, you do all understand that the seats, all the butts in the seats, yeah, they're done instantly. All of them will be done. No more empty seat in that arena. I can't even remember what the arena is called. The reason for it is because the state would just want to see talent. You just fill it with anybody, and you can pay any price. That kid has like chemistry with people already on that roster. Put him with Zegras. What are we even talking about? Connor Bedard is the next best thing. And I'm not saying that because I live out in here in Edmonton, out in the Edmonton area, and that I have helped produce an Oilers show and I like to take shots at them because I love Kyle, which I see out there saying, show me your birthday suit. Like, I can't right now, dude. I can't do that on the show right now, but like after, if you're in the, the lobby and stuff, we could possibly talk about it. But out here, everybody loves McDavid. And I think McDavid is good too. Bedard could, and I think, be better than what he is. And that's hard to say because we are still seeing McDavid evolve and we have not seen him stop. And at what point for even myself do I think that Bedard won't be able to compete with him? Well, here's the thing. Bedard right now in the WHL, arguably on par now to what the OHL was for McDavid back in the day. He's played 44 games, 52 goals, 58 assists, 110 points, plus 33, 46 penalty minutes. The kid will throw down if he needs to. 5 shorthanded goals, 13 power play goals. But this kid just puts up points, man. He's a center. He's small. He's 5'10". A lot of people are saying, I just don't know about that height. Pretty sure a lot of people said that about Martin St. Louis as well. And he came and he won a Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning, which was the first start of this dynasty, if you ask me. I can still name most of those guys off the top of my head because if you all remember back in the day, McDonald's liked to put out hockey sticks and memorabilia, all that kind of stuff. Brad Richards, Vincent Lecavalier, Nikolai Habibulin, obviously Martin St. Louis, Dave Andrechuk. That team was stacked. Calgary had nothing. As much as I loved Kiprusoff back in the day, and Iginla is Iginla, nothing. These are the next superstars. If you're a card collector, so Squid Rip cards, Sid already knows. Sid's ready for when these quarterbacks are drafted. Say, Bryce Young goes to the Texans. Will Levis gets drafted to Indianapolis. And, the Raiders, for some reason, end up with C.J. Stroud or whatever. We all going to want a piece of those cards, man. Everybody will. Including myself. This would be like the T-Law thing all over again. And T-Law isn't even the best one out of that rookie class, arguably. People want Fields now. So you got to, when you got 3-4 quarterbacks, makes it for better selling later on if you just hold. It's the same thing with the cards when you got a Victor Wembanyama and a Connor Bedard. You go look at all these people, like these hockey guys. They are selling Connor Bedard CHL cards, rookie cards, for just stupid prices. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'll wait till the actual team is on his jersey. They're going to break the bank. They're going to change their games. Will Levis could be the next Joe Montana. One of those guys could be the next Joe Montana. Go to 4 or 5 Super Bowls, not lose them. Literally go to every single one of them, dominate one of them, win a couple close games against the other one, and then the fourth one is the one where you write your script as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Because no matter who you are, when you talk about who is the greatest quarterbacks of all time, now everybody will go Brady, Montana. There's arguments for number 2, obviously. Everybody likes to scramble the list now that Joe Montana has been dethroned, and we can throw him all the way down to 5th if we really wanted to. It's still Brady. It's still Joe Montana. And then at 3, you can really start scrambling the list. But you cannot forget Elway. You cannot forget Unitas. You cannot forget Peyton, especially Peyton. Those are you guys. And even hell, if one of them ain't going to be Brady or Montana, they're at least going to fall into the Peyton Manning category or the John Elway or the Johnny Unitas. One of those, they're going to fall into a top 6 quarterback of all time. We are living in that era now. We have got to live through the Tom Brady era. I mean, I got to enjoy it with the Super Bowl ring. Don't get me wrong. But we've also had to see him win all these championships with the Patriots and go to the championship game every single year. The only time the son of a bitch doesn't go there is when he actually has an injury. And then you find out the team went 11-5 with a guy named Ryan Mallett. I think it was Ryan Mallett. We had this conversation at work the other day too. Alex, if you're out there, I think it was Ryan Mallett. With Ryan Mallett, they go 11-5. And then because of the conference or the division that they're in, and they had a great year, they just don't make the playoffs. The guy is great, but he's gone. So now everyone's grasping to the Patrick Mahomes conversation. And I get that. I 1,000% to get the Patrick Mahomes conversation. I'm one of those people who've kind of fallen into the argument of he might be better than Tom Brady. I mean, statistically, if we were just talking statistically of like, say, the GOAT of all time, if he keeps on the trajectory and he does it in, say, 5 years less than what Brady did, and he breaks all of his records and stuff like that, damn right he does. Even if he doesn't get all the titles. Some people would use that argument again with the LeBron and MJ. It's a fair one, but you got to remember, Patrick Mahomes has done it, and he's doing it, man. And he's going to do it in all the different eras. And one of these quarterbacks is going to be drafted in his division. Conference. There we go. And he is going to have to deal with that. And if he can get through them, if he can stop the production of their career, and we can have that GOAT conversation. But one of these guys is coming in here, and they're going to get a team built around him in like 2 or 3 years, and they're going to compete with Patrick Mahomes, man. I'm telling you. Same thing with Victor. If you're a basketball fan, don't you like the idea that maybe the game is going to stop going from the 3-point line and start going to what it's supposed to be? A little bit more nitty and gritty? Like the Memphis Grizzlies going and actually like these scraps happening that everybody has wanted to kind of see to bring more attention to the NBA. If I'm losing fighting in hockey, you're damn right I'm going to get it back with the NBA. I'm just waiting for my basketball team to come back. I mean, I don't mind the Grizzlies because I'm a John Morant fan, but still. The game is going to become something bigger than what we thought because the game with some of these big guys has changed. Chet went like number 3 or number 5 to OKC. And even when he was drafted, it was overshadowed by the fact that Victor Wembanyama is going to be better than you, dude. And it was even said to him. They didn't have like an NBA. What's this? What's he gonna be? Like, what kind of player is he gonna be? They went to Victor, and he was 2 years away. That's insane. Connor, I've known about Connor for like the same amount of time. I've known Connor's gonna be great for like the last 2 years. And it's one of the things that I said, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep saying it, and I really hope it does happen. Because he goes to a good team. He's going to really tear up the league, and it just makes for higher ratings. I can put him on Calgary. I can have McDavid and Bedard go at each other, literally the Battle of Alberta all the time. I would literally drive. I would take a week off to watch one game and then drive down for the next and party. Are you kidding me? Not even an Oilers fan. I'd be wearing a Bedard jersey, though, for sure. Oilers to the Stanley Cup. Bedard will be incredible, but he needs to be in the right system. I agree with that. We have talked about that actually at length. Chris would disagree. Chris thinks, McDavid. But he's starting to slow down on that because, obviously the Bedard stats and the highlights are starting to come out. Which, by the way, guys, if y'all want to follow my co-hosts here and stuff like that, there they all are. We got all of our ats, except for Kyle. Kyle doesn't have an at on Twitter. We might have to force him into that. But these are all everybody's Twitter handles. If everybody wants to give us a follow, we're going to be doing a little bit more on Twitter. Chris is really big into Twitter. I was following Twitter for a little bit. I'm not one of those people that are about the Elon Musk shit. I don't give a damn about that. A couple shout outs to some of the shows that are happening here at NSD. We have started Terribly Toxic. And when I say we, I have no part of this. It is Chris and Sid doing their own show here at NSD, where they're two toxic motherfuckers. They agree way more times than they'd like to admit until obviously they start talking about, like, say, Kyler or, anything like that. But yeah, Terribly Toxic. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. We also just the Off the Boards Hockey Show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Off the Boards Hockey Show, which is an Oilers show run by Kyle and Chris. Chris had a little bit of a mishap, so I had to step in just as a episode 1 guest. And then I just basically sat back and listened to him and Kyle talk about this team. And even I started learning a little bit more about this team, and I was like, ugh, I don't like it. I'm starting to like them a little bit. The Maple Bucks Show will be back here next Sunday. We are going to be going live again, talking all Buccaneer stuff. Well, when I say we, I mean me. We're going to be talking Buccaneer stuff again. So stay tuned for that, all you Buccaneer fans. We'll be doing the Maple Bucks Show. And, of course, Alex will be live with I like that. Hi, everybody. Hey. Oh, hi. Restoring the Roar, an NST podcast. Alex will be going live on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where he will be talking Detroit Lions and nothing but Detroit Lions. No Buccaneers talk, no other teams. It's all Detroit Lions, guys, which is exactly what I've been bugging him to do. It's like, I love the fact that you came on NSD and we talked Bucks all the time. That was fun. That was great. But when we finally started talking about the Lions, we all started getting into the Lions. That's why it won NSD fan favorite team of the year, which it literally is just obviously, a team that you would cheer for who is not your team. And Lions won almost by a landslide, which is very, very nice. So yeah, Restoring the Roar on next Tuesday. And honestly, the shows just keep evolving. They keep coming out. There's a lot more coming down. There may even be a chance at more shows. Can you believe that? By the way, everybody, all these shows are sponsored through NSD by ZAGNIF Apparel. And I swear, I will get the actual apparel. They're supposed to be here. And Anthony sent them. And I know he sent them. Because I bought the son of a guns. And I want them so I can give them to Chris so he can model them off and shit. But I gotta go find them. So I don't. They said they dropped it off. No, you didn't. It's not on my doorstep, bro. So we'll figure that one out. Holy shit! What did I do to my camera? Get back there. Nope, I'm gonna have to do the hand thing again. I gotta do it one more time. I gotta. Slow. Come on. Man, that sucks. Anyway, that's bad. Anyway, so we got a bunch of new shows coming out. We also got the shirts, like I said. How is it not? That's what the fuck? There it is. We got the new shirts coming out. They are bought today, actually about like 2 hours ago. So that'll be dope. Everybody will have their. I know. I'm figuring it all out. I didn't want to tell you because I wanted to find it first. I can't find it. So I got a message. I'll figure it out. I guess I know. Shh. 15% off. Use FOOBS15. That's your code word. The link is there. Get your swag. Make sure you do it. I will actually drop the link. I always do in the chat. Boom. There we go. Boom. There we go. So yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on, man. I'll figure it out though. I always do. It's just like if Vista were to say that they dropped their stuff off, and I'm like, it did no, I don't know, not yet. So I'll figure it out. But we got shirts coming. NSD shirts. I should have actually taken a picture or getting the picture downloaded so y'all can see what they're actually going to look like. But we'll have that next week for everybody to see when all the other, obviously, the hosts are back. If they decide to come back. I think they're just done with me, man. They all, like, honestly, they all have their shows. And they're spreading their wings. Or like, I guess in Alex's case, because he's a Lions fan, he's like growing his mane, and Alex or Kyle and Chris, because they're Oiler fans, I guess like the oil leak is changed, like it's fixed. And like Sid, because he's a Steelers fan, like he still sucks, but like, you know, they all just, they're spreading their wings. And they're all doing such big things. And I'm so fucking proud of all of them. But it means they don't want to be part of the Friday nights anymore. They basically, I got the biggest fuck you from all of them. No, I'm just kidding. No. Basically, like I said, they're all injured and stuff like that. So it's just me for today. And I was scrambling. I'm like, what am I going to do tonight? I even knew. I was like, I'm just going to do a nice small show to myself. I'm going to have a nice conversation with myself. I'm going to let the peeps say what they got to say. Which then I realized, I'm like, this is the off season. And most of the time, this is like, people on Friday are like, listen, I'm going out. I'm having drinks. And I get it. I'm doing the same thing tomorrow. I'm having so much. Actually, nope. But I can't get into details. But I can't drink too much because we're going to be having one hell of a day. I'm going to go check out a mall. My kids will actually settle the hell down. Starting next week, Z8 will ship direct to Canada. Hey, ZAGNIF apparel straight to Canada. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We making big things happen. That's right. Canada shows. Only we could get that kind of stuff with fucking Squid Rip cards. Hey, Sid. Be nice if Canadians could get a little deal since our dollar sucks and our prime minister isn't the greatest. I guess you got Mr. Smelly Kids there, so, but, you know, it is what it is. We're going to get to a quick commercial break because I have to use the bathroom. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Quick word from our sponsor. Quick show off of the new commercial for the hockey show. And then we'll be, and then obviously, quick word from Squid Rips. And then we'll be right back. Talk a little bit more for the last 15, 20 minutes of the night. Get you out of here at NSD. Be right back. welcome back to North Sports Dynasty. I am your host, Andrew Faber. I urinated. Y'all didn't need to know that, but that's what I did on my break. I don't know what y'all doing on your breaks. I got Powerade on the way here. Mad pasties. It's Friday. I may be doing things. Thank you, pretty lady. Shout out to the pretty lady. Puppy Paradise Dog Grooming, ladies and gentlemen. If you're out here and you need all your dog grooming needs, Puppy Paradise. I would say .com, but she doesn't have a website. Go to Facebook. You get the number, text, do all the things that you need to do. Get your dog in. Nails. If you say NSD, it saves you $5. Just saying. As she sits there and laughs like, no, but sure. She's trying to choose my parrot. All right. So, talk a little bit of the Bucks. Since we got the NSD host team needs. I don't want to talk too much about what I was going to give up for the Buccaneers, because a lot of content out there gets saturated. A lot of stuff gets said over and over again. So if I said we need offensive line, everybody's going to say that. I say we're going to need a corner because we definitely can't pay the 3 we're going to lose. That's already been talked about. What about a quarterback? Oh, Kyle Trask. Like, everything's saturated. The script for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has been the same for a long time. 18 years of sucking, of trying, of putting so many different types of people in the system to try and win something, and it inevitably falls short and flat on their face. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to finish last next year. And some people, including Alex, keep trying to tell me that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually have a shot next year. Really, it was shot at what? The first overall pick? Yeah. And a shot at the NFC South? How fucking bad are the other 3 teams in our division? The Atlanta Falcons were not that bad last year against us. Fuck the New Orleans Saints. Don't even get me started about them. But, like, who the fuck do they got at quarterback? Let alone the Carolina Panthers. Like, being realistic here. If the draft goes the way that I think that it's going to, and everybody thinks that it's going to, Carolina's probably going to draft a quarterback. Or they're going to try to, at least, the 9th overall pick. They might trade up. Might even get Anthony Richardson, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing for them. And that's going to make them a competitor. I'm going to give them the NFC South right now. This early already. Right now. What do the Buccaneers have? What do the Buccaneers honestly have that makes anybody out there in the league scared? Because when you say Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and, don't talk about the defense, but just those 2, you need a person that can facilitate the ball to them. I have not seen Kyle Trask do that. It's almost as if Kyle Trask has been forbade to even try and throw the ball to Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. Like, how dare you try and do any of that? And it, like, makes no sense to me whatsoever. I'm like absolutely lost in the whole thing of why we think Kyle Trask is amazing at all. He was drafted, and I get it. And, we're probably eventually going to see him and stuff like that. And he's supposed to be the guy to take it all home. He's the next big thing for us. He's the draft that Bruce Arians had. I'm going to tell you what right now. In a saturated market of conversation that has already happened, I am not a fan of Kyle Trask. I am not a fan of Kyle Trask going into this system. When he was drafted, I'm like, oh, cool, this is our backup. So if we need to put him in for a year, this is what we're going to get. And I guess if we're saying that we're going to put him in this year as in a backup situation, maybe okay. Sure. But what are you expecting? 9-8? 10-7? Try 7-11. 6-12, or sorry, what is that? Sorry, 6-11, 7-10, 5-12, 4-13. 4-13 sounds a little bit more appropriate. There is a lot of talent on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I won't deny it. I'm one of the first people to go out there and scream about it. But last year, we had the GOAT still in the last year of his contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, respectively. And yet nobody could get this team going. Not even him. And in the first year, it took a lot to get the team going because you also had Bruce Arians yelling at people and kicking them in the ass. Todd Bowles doesn't do that. Byron Leftwich did not do that. This new squad of coaches coming in are definitely not going to do that. They're all living the high life right now. You get to sit in Tampa Bay, Florida, in one of the nicest states ever with no state tax, amazing weather, amazing retirement options, let alone if you're single, that just means plenty of opportunity for you in any situation. And you think that this coaching staff who fit all those different categories are going to have their mind on the game? I mean, that take right there, someone's going to take out of context. Think about what I mean. You're living in Tampa. You're not playing for Seattle anymore, where it's pouring rain when you drive to work. You're not playing for the Buffalo Bills anymore, where you got to get your neighbors to plow you out of the driveway because they're just big old fan base everywhere you go. No. It's you fall in. There's bigger things in Tampa than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And until they were actually winning the championship, until like the actual playoff game, there wasn't that much of a hoorah for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers outside of the small fan base that we had. And then, of course, you got all the, the hoppers and stuff like that after the Washington game. And people will be like, Andrew, well, what about when Brady came there? You kind of know where I'm going with that anyway. Like, they had their parade. The Tampa Bay Lightning had their parade. They've been a sports team or a sports city, and they've been doing an amazing job. I'm not discrediting them for that. What I'm saying is, though, is there's other things to do there. When they had their parade on the water, it was because they had the opportunity to do it because of where they are. And I mean, sure, other cities may have been able to capitalize it if they've done it before. Maybe California, Vegas, maybe doing something out in the desert, or Pittsburgh with the river, Toronto, anything like that. I sure. But it wouldn't have been the same because Clearwater and Tampa and everything else surrounding is that. It's waterways. It's not roads. People use boats. That's the Tampa way. At least from what I've heard, from what I've studied, from the fan base I've talked to. There's other things. There's other ambitions. That's why Brady really went there. The guy's investing in so many other different stuff. His wife literally went across the damn waterway and is in another multi-million-dollar house that has nothing to do with sports whatsoever. Yeah, and you know what? That house is a little bit bigger. Who's complaining though, right, Giselle? Like, seriously. I don't blame the current Tampa Bay Buccaneer roster if they're going to take a year or two off to just get paid. The NFL is a bitch. The NFL puts so much on its players. They ask for so much and the players get nothing almost every time. Unless you are like the top 50. And even some of those guys aren't getting paid. So really think about, if you are a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, what this season is going to be like. You don't want to tank. Because, God, we are so fucking far past that. I get that. But if we really try with Kyle Trask and we really show what is going to happen, I don't see us going better than 6-11. I really don't. We won 8 games last year, barely beating the dead horse on almost every single game. We couldn't score more than 23 points. And now all of a sudden with the GOAT gone and maybe some rookie replacements because we're not getting free agents because we ain't got the money, all of a sudden we think that we just still have shots. We need to be realistic. The game itself is hard, and it's harder to win, especially if you do not have all the right pieces in place. And the pieces you need in place in order to win these games now are edge rushers, corners, and quarterbacks. And obviously, I would say wide receivers. We have the wide receivers. Arguably, we can say we have decent edge rushing, but it's only on one side. We had good cornerbacks. They are now all going to be gone and paid except for one who is staying here. And I don't even think he's going to be able to shut down one side of the field necessarily himself. Why are we so enthralled in the fact that, you know, the winning ways and stuff, which is something I have said back in the day we should start instilling? The winning mentality and the winning franchise and this, that, and everything else. That looked completely lost last year. Ownership got what they wanted. They got their championship. They can rest easy for 18 years. They can go try and figure out the Manchester United scandal and bullshit and crap that they've created there. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are fine. This is part of the routine. It's part of the script for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is it not? Right? 18 years? So what is it right now? 2023? So in 2041? Is that when we can start being competitive again? Start looking like we can be a championship bunch? Depends. I'm not sold on Kyle Trask. But you know, other weirder things have happened. Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, all have been third-round picks. I mean, Kyle Trask is the end of the second, 64th overall pick. There might be something there, but it's hard to believe it. Do you still have my information? Yes, I do, Chris. Don't you worry. It's on your way. On the way. Trask was the best, the third or fourth best QB in the SEC East his last year. Serviceable backup, but not a starter. And that's exactly what I've said. I like him as a person. I like his personality. I actually don't mind his personality. He just takes too long to throw the ball. And in the system that Todd Bowles is inevitably going to be putting out there, and Canales, I think that's our new offensive. I got to remember how to say his name properly before I do a damn show on him. But the guy hasn't actually called plays since junior varsity or whatever the hell that was. That is worrisome. If he was like that, he's obviously not going to be giving Brady. Brady is nope, I'm not doing that. But you got to think Kyle Trask is going to be given plays by a guy who has not really called plays in the NFL. They're going to learn it together. And they are not going up against a very good bunch of defenses next year in order to call themselves even capable of dealing with that. It's a multi-million-dollar franchise. Hell, we got this. The worst part about it is we got the Creamsicles jerseys coming back next year. And all of our fans have said the Creamsicles represent the worst time in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history. And I agree. 1,000%, a million percent. I agree. Doesn't change the fact that they were sexy. And it just does not change the fact that when that jersey is popped up and refocused and reshifted over this year, oh, they're going to be so gorgeous. I don't care what anybody says. I love the creamsicle. Even on my, see if I can pull this out without tearing anything up. Just one thing fell, that's fine. Look at that damn helmet. Look at the creamsicle. God, I even love orange creamsicles, man. They're just so good. You can't tell me that you don't want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers creamsicle jerseys. And you can't tell me that you wouldn't want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a new style of creamsicle jersey winning. But they're not going to be winning with a Kyle Trask. They're not going to be winning with Todd Bowles. It's going to be a mess. And to be honest, I feel as though I'm one of the only people who are ready for it. And I don't want to say I told you so. I would like to be wrong on it. I would absolutely like to be wrong on it. But like I have lived my life to be a Buccaneer fan for a long time. And I have seen this happen already. I have lived through it. I have no issue, in my personal opinion, because this year is going to be good for quarterbacks and next year is going to be good for quarterbacks. I have got no issue whatsoever if we are to take this year off and have everybody get healthy and possibly a new coaching staff, because if we keep Todd Bowles in there and he runs this team into the ground, which I think is inevitably going to happen, he's gone. And then he's never going to get his coaching chance ever again. He'll be only a DC for the rest of his life. And it's not fair to him. I agree. But it's the way the NFL goes. So, if it means taking a year off, and it means getting a top 3 pick and having a shot at like Caleb Williams, Jackson Dart, some of these other guys who are going to be up there at the top next year, it's not a huge loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because you'll get a new coach, you'll get a brand new system. Hell, you'll be able to sell jerseys all over again. But the one thing that you're not going to be able to do this year is convince a fan base that you're going to be competitive enough to go for a championship. Kyle Trask is not winning the championship. If there's another quarterback that wants to take this system on, so be it. All the props to you. But I just don't see how it's going to happen. So, making sure I have figured out everything. Talked about everything that needs to be done. Yes, I have. Talk free agents, obviously, next week when I got everybody else in-house. I know it was a busy night for everybody on a Friday night, but I would like to take a moment and appreciate everybody for taking their time and tuning in tonight. It was just me here at NSD. Some of the other hosts will be joining us again, but they're obviously out doing their own things. It's hard for me to come up, obviously, with show content if I don't know who's coming on. And if we miss out on somebody coming on, which we did have someone have to reschedule, which is totally fine. And I'm scrambling because I'm at work. I'm just trying my best here. I hired these guys on to help me take the workload off here at NSD, and they ain't doing fuck all. I'm just kidding. New shows, like I said, coming up. They're all pumped and doing their own stuff. I can't even hate them for it. Got Terribly Toxic, like I said, on the Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on NSD and on Twitch. And you got the Off the Boards Hockey Show, which is also on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursdays. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Or 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. There's the word I was looking for. Alex's show is going to be on next Tuesday. That's right, next Tuesday. So we'll see you next Tuesday. That'll be on also at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for all the people out there. And then, of course, we got the Maple Buck Show starting next Sunday. To be determined on the time because I don't even know when the time is going to be. Scott was here. Scott, we appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And as always, thank you all again for tuning in to NSD. I am 1/5 of your host. If everybody else was here. But I am Andrew Faubert, host of NSD, and we will be back next week talking more. And we'll actually I have something planned. I promise for you. We'll have something crazy. If I get everybody on here, I can do some Jeopardy or something like that. So I win anything. I'm sad you did not, buddy. You can talk to Ash about getting your Rams card, though. All right, guys. Have yourselves a good one. We'll talk to you next week. Much love from NSD. Ciao, ciao for now.